welcome back to another week of Hello Ladies, Feminism and Pro Wrestling. I'm one of your hosts, Sabrina Hannon.
I am Megan Manley.
And we're going to be talking the wrestling of the AEW Ring of Honor and WWE sort. I almost forgot what WWE was for a moment. And of course, do you have your Young Bucks today?
I do. They're downstairs.
One day they will journey upstairs.
I should have at this point just make it a running gag.
Right. Well,
it'll be like Veer.
Yes, there we go. And well, just in case I brought one, this is one of the few things I've ever bought at a live event, and it is yes. That's I awesome. Had two of them, but when me and my ex-boyfriend split up, he took the other because he's a dick bag.
Split custody.
Yeah, which he is not a wrestling fan. He's spiteful. So.
Boo.
Huh?
I said boo.
Oh, yes. I thought you said who, and I was like, you want me to name this person?
No, I'm not doxing people.
For our 3 listeners, we have 3 faithful listeners now. Maybe I should just keep this on for the rest of the podcast. Be completely obnoxious. Oh, or not. I just hit the microphone with this. I'm done. I cannot be trusted with floppy. Never mind. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Yeah, we're just going to
power right through that one. Right on by.
Anyway, wrestling.
Yes, not floppy things. So where would you like to begin?
Okay, so we've already discussed that neither of us can remember what happened on Dynamite last week.
Nope.
Because that would be where we left off, because last week we talked about the Raw after Mania, I believe.
Sure. I have lost all sense of time.
Yeah, we did, because we recorded the week before on the night of the Raw of Mania, so we couldn't talk about it the week before.
Yeah. Yes, you're correct.
We did talk about that. We can't remember Dynamite. So sorry, we have bad memories and we should be better note takers.
Well, so here's my complaint. So what I can't remember, was it Rampage or was it Dynamite that I think it might have been Dynamite that MJF had the match, the qualifying match for the Owen Hart tournament, and in came War Daddy, the return of War Daddy, because then I think that was Dynamite, because I think on Rampage, or maybe it was later that night, MJF said he's going to have him go up against. This is bizarre because to me, the Butcher is not a scary threat. I don't feel like he's never been billed that way. I feel like that would be more of a squash match, honestly, for Wardlow. Maybe, it'll be nice for the Butcher if they're going to give him some sort of push, I guess. I don't particularly want to see that, but hey.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got some skills he's been hiding.
Possibly. Yeah, I thought that was
a strong no from you.
I thought it was a want moment, like want.
Yeah.
But this is what MJF does. I mean, he doesn't have War Daddy to be that first like big dude to fight anymore. Because it is War Daddy that's fighting. So, he's gonna go through like a big dude at first, and then he's gonna have him like fight Spears, and then eventually it's gonna come to like him and MJF. And there's gotta be a moment where like up on the screen you see like Wardlow is all elite and the crowd's gonna go nuts, and then they have to do it that way.
Panties will fly.
And I don't think that they really have any other like big dudes right now that aren't involved in something different.
I mean, there's there's the new big dude, the basketball player, the
Yeah,
giant.
but he's already what there's the Samoa Joe thing happening. Like there's no other big dudes that are not attached to some other storyline or somebody else that I can really think of off the top of my head. So in that case, it makes sense that that's why they're using Butcher, because it's like, okay, MJF kind of has ties with it used to be the Hardy family office, but now that's the Andrade family office.
I feel like what they really should have done, well, it wouldn't work because Big Show, Paul White is not a heel, although we know he can turn on a dime. Just like send him on out. That is a big guy you're not utilizing. Same thing with Mark Henry. Both very, very large men. Yeah. But neither one of them are heels.
And they might not want to do it. And Mark Henry seems so happy just being the dude that is like, it's time for your main event. Like he seems like that he's just having like the best time at the end of a career, like
yep.
And
he's living his best Mean Gene life.
Yeah, definitely. And I think isn't Paul White like working up to becoming Captain Insano? Because that's all I'm seeing is that Tony Khan, I guess, has the rights to Captain Insano from the Water Boy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And apparently Paul White is working on like an alter ego, and I really think that we're gonna see Captain Insano.
Well, maybe it'll be Captain Insano versus War Daddy.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
He wears a wig out.
Oh God. I would love it. I'm not going to lie. Waterboy is like one of my favorite movies.
I haven't watched it since I was a kid because I'm afraid like it won't have held up well.
It probably hasn't. Most like comedies from the 90s have not held up well. If you look at it through the lens of like shit was problematic in the 90s,
The Golden Girls holds up just fine, and that was the 80s. So
it's tough when you think back at like stuff that was popular, because there were a lot of things that were like said or done in a lot of movies, songs, TV
wrestling.
shows, wrestling, in media in general, that were never acceptable, but were like more accepted by the public. That like people didn't speak out as much back then. And there wasn't a way to really do it because there was no
Twitter, no social media. Yeah.
There was none of that. So I mean, I'm sure that I raised my eyes at some things back then that even as a kid, like that doesn't seem right. But there was no way for like the masses to get together and be like, this is not acceptable. And that's why it happened. Like,
yeah, I'm doing a rewatch of The Highlander, the series from the 90s.
I never watched it.
I don't think if you had not seen it as like when it was airing or in the 90s or as a child, I don't think one would enjoy it except for the purely hilarious special effects. But I'm doing a rewatch because I did watch it when I was a kid. And so many things do not hold up well because they do a lot of like flashbacks to the main characters. Like he's an immortal who I think stays 35 or something for forever. But it's the Civil War. He's fighting for the North.
Okay.
But he comes across people who aren't, and they use the language that you think they would. And I'm just like, this was on network television. Wow. Like enough so that like I stopped it and because I was like, they didn't say that. I was like, they fucking said it. Oh God. Okay. Well,
I did not think that was even allowed on TV in the 90s. I don't remember.
I guess since it was historical.
Which that's fiction, but
yeah,
okay, that's a whole other can of, but
yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of like, even looking back at shows that I loved, like Scrubs, like I watched it again, not recently, maybe like now it's probably like 2013 or 14, so it's almost 10 years ago. But even like then, there's a lot of stuff that's problematic on like Scrubs, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's okay to still enjoy things that you enjoyed, but know that it's like some of the jokes are not acceptable and they never were.
Yeah, yeah. I will say I'm very surprised that Buffy the Vampire Slayer has pretty much so held up, even though Joss Whedon hasn't. The creator tanked, not the show. Just surprising. Um, do I prefer it this way? Maybe.
I'd rather the creator of something not hold up over like the what they created that I liked. If
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that's like a cornerstone of who you are.
Yeah. To a certain point, like I understand that like an artist or a singer, an author or whatever, like they created it, but once you put it out into the world, it's kind of not yours anymore. It belongs to the fans.
Yeah. Yes. So back to wrestling.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
I
it's
mean,
okay.
that does kind of tie into wrestling because the
It
Attitude Era was god awful. Like when it comes to everything.
the things that'll make your skin just leap off your body and walk away.
Oh yeah, sexist, racist, transphobic, like you name it, they had it.
If
Like
it's a phobic, it's there, basically. Yes. What the hell were we talking about?
how we didn't remember Dynamite, but then we started to remember some of Dynamite.
Wardlow. Yeah. So here's the thing. So the people that I really tune into into Dynamite, into Rampage for, a lot of them aren't on now. Whether it's Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Wardlow, who like hasn't really been on. I mean, I also love MJF, but like they're tied together. I am sorry, my cat is losing his mind outside the door. I'm sorry if you're hearing that.
My friend stopped.
And he cried right before we started to go out, and now he wants back in. Anyway, spoiled little brat. So, do you hear him?
I do.
Yeah. And then Orange Cassidy, who's injured. I mean, Wheeler Yuta is doing stuff, obviously. Keith Lee, I feel like Keith Lee wasn't even on. And then with the women's division, it's
Wait.
was Keith you? Yes, right? Because he was
got pinned.
yeah, he got pinned for it, but in a tag, not
A single,
singles,
yeah.
which is what they're going to say until all of our ears bleed.
Yeah, yes, because we talked about that. Yes.
Yes. But yeah, and then the women's division. So my personal opinion for the Owen Hart tournament for the women's side, they should have just had less brackets. Like it should have been more. I feel like there are less brackets for like King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring in WWE. And they should have done that style rather than like this big bracket, because they're just giving us squash match after squash match. I mean, Ruby Riott with the twins who did Twin Magic. I mean, that was something, but like I don't want to be watching all of these squash matches. Like I know the outcomes. The jobbers don't usually have the best skills, and it's problematic that maybe half of the women on their roster who aren't jobbers who are going to the next round don't have the best skills. So it's just like a mess. Just a mess. Not Ruby Soho is not one of the people that does not have skills. That was just the match that I remember.
I think and also an issue was that they had qualifying matches to get into a bracket competition.
Yeah.
Like, why not just have made it one extra round? You know what I mean? Like that be the first round of the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of convoluted. Like, I love AEW. You know that. I am more partial to AEW than WWE. However, sometimes they overcomplicate things that don't need to be overcomplicated. And I think that the Owen Hart bracket is one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
There was no reason for qualifying matches to get into a bracket competition. The whole point of a bracket competition is to have the matches for people to move forward.
Yeah.
It was just unnecessary, and it's making it feel a lot longer. I think that because you were just saying there's too many brackets. I think if they didn't have those qualifier matches, it wouldn't have felt this long. It would have felt just like a King of the Ring or a Queen of the Ring, or like a regular
Yeah.
bracket competition. It just, I don't know. I think that sometimes Tony wants to be so different. Like Tony Khan wants to do things that are so different that he makes it a little more complicated, longer, or puts things that are unnecessary just for the sake of doing something different.
Yeah. And like, you don't need to do that at all. Oh wait, no, was that when was the Texas match?
That was on Friday because it was live.
There we go. That's the thing, because it was Good Friday and the Crown of Thorns.
Yes. Oh my God, I couldn't wait until you watch that.
Yeah, they Jesused Adam Cole.
I'm not even exaggerating. As soon as that happened, I look over at Brian and I go, they just put a crown of thorns on Adam Cole, who somewhat resembles Jesus, on Good Friday. Happy Easter, everybody.
Yep.
I didn't care. Like I was raised Catholic. I went to Catholic, like not Catholic school, but like, Sunday school classes, receipt, got married to Catholic church, yada, yada. It didn't offend me, bother me. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly thought, I found it funny like, that they just.
Yeah, I mean, the shock value was definitely there. But yeah, I was definitely like, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it did not make the news, surprisingly.
No, to be fair, it did look like Hangman was trying to wrap it around his face, but they were running out of time and it wasn't working. So he just kind of like did it real quick. Because if you noticed, because I watched it a couple times, like just that spot a couple times, it looked like he was trying to get it more than just like around his head. But yeah, that would have been awful.
Yeah.
But it like slipped and it kind of just ended up looking
Just
like a crown of
him. Yeah.
And then the aftermath, when I immediately went to Twitter to see if anybody else like me, because you always think I'm the only one that noticed something. And I'm like, did anyone else notice this? And the first tweet that I saw was Adam Cole died for our sins. And I lost it.
Yeah. Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, for a moment in my brain, I went, oh yeah, Jesus had barbed wire around. And I was like, wait, no, Jesus did not have barbed wire.
And then the thing that I sent you, or it was like a spoilers without context or whatever, and it was just like a painting of Jesus with the crown of thorns on his head. I like, oh my God. Sometimes the internet is fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. So we're remembering things.
Well, Rampage, I remember a little bit more. Like that stood out more. It's just I know we said it before, but there's so much fucking content. Like between two different companies, and if you try to pay attention to what's going on in some other companies, like I was still trying to keep up on what was going on in the New Japan show on Friday, and like with Mox and Osprey, and I still want to see that match if I can get a chance to see it. And who Jay White's mystery opponent was going to be, and it just ended up being the young boy that Mox stole a couple years ago, Red Shoes' son. But it just, oh my God, there's just so much shit. Like that some of it starts getting pushed out of your brain.
Yeah, because also this week, this past week, they had AEW had an extra show being Battle of the Belts. I was deeply unimpressed with that whole thing, with the exception of the Ring of Honor match.
Yeah, that match was fantastic.
Yeah, I was just like, dang, I should have been watching Ring of Honor this whole time.
It was probably the point of putting that on there, so people that haven't watched it are like, I might check out Ring of Honor now.
Yeah, they did so, and I saw the one guy got injured. The guy who retained. concussion, maybe, I want to
Oh,
say something happened. So hopefully it's nothing, like it's something that he heals from quickly, since he's the champion.
yeah. I mean,
And people are going to be hot on him after that match.
depending on the severity of the concussion, that I mean, recovery can be like a week, but hopefully it's not something worse where it's longer.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, everything else, like I'm glad that Sammy won the TNT championship back. But I mean, we talked about this one. Like, I just
Yeah.
they're making Tay and Sammy both heels. Like, it's far worse than what WWE did with Seth and Becky, because like we're forced to watch them just make out all the time.
I hate that. Like I don't I'm just I'm always grossed out by watching people like tongue wrestle. I just don't like it. And
Mhm.
they
They use a
both
lot of
were,
tongue.
yeah, like a disgusting amount. All I think is like that is just so unsanitary. But I just can't. Uh, They were both getting over so much. Like they were both super hot, like just, and they got thrown together because they obviously they got put in the place of what Cody and Brandy. Like
Mhm.
that was gonna be because they were already setting up Paige Van Zant with Brandy, so it was probably gonna be like Cody and Brandy. And they stuck Sam and Ty Conti in there, and I don't like them together. I like them separate. I think they're both great on their own, but together they're obnoxious.
I also think they could have, if they did this differently, like with with Tay coming out and just kicking ass, like her and Paige really like going at it, and in the like would have worked just fine. But that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing.
What killed
And
them was that comment about fucking with the belt on.
yeah.
That pissed off a lot of people, it seemed, on the company, like in the company itself, because that belt is so synonymous with Brody Lee. And I remember specifically like Eddie Kingston like tweeted right after it about like how disrespectful that was.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I saw other people making comments about, them with the belt and the picture that they posted, and like how the TNT championship was, a Brody Lee belt basically. Like that's just that killed them. And then they come out and they're like they got booed, and they're getting more and more booed and
Mm-hmm.
making out, and I don't know, they're just annoying together.
Yeah. Well, the belt thing reminded me of um poor Paige, like
Yeah.
WWE Paige, and everything she went through. While yes, Woods Austin Creed was in that video as well, no one gave a shit.
And Brad Maddox, right?
Yeah. Also, no one gives a shit that he was there. Like no one cares what he was doing. Um I, that's a lie. I'm sure someone out there is a Brad Maddox fan. I'm a Test fan, so there's a fan for everyone.
Everybody
Uh
gets one.
Everyone has one. Maybe not everyone. What's his face? Hopefully doesn't. I don't remember his name. Thank God it's gone. Anyway, the racist guy that was in WWE for a hot second and then was like, I have learning disabilities.
um
I was made fun of as a child. But he was like posting like
oh
Nazi
oh
shit.
oh yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name either. But
Yeah, he was terrible.
yeah, if anyone actually does listen to this, please comment and let us know what his name was.
Right? Yeah, I can picture his stupid face. Anyway,
Me too.
um, hopefully he doesn't have any fans. But otherwise they do. But yeah, I was just like, how traumatizing. Like whether they meant it not to, like, people were sending shit at Paige again. Like I just
I
was.
already saw the comments that
Mhm.
they pulled. someone's like they pull the Page and Woods, like, so they did
Yeah.
include him too. Like it wasn't just her. They and I
But they
saw
didn't include that other guy.
no, because everybody forgot he existed, and I don't even know why I remembered his name.
Yeah.
But and I did see a couple tweets where like only Woods was mentioned, like oh they pull the Woods. So well, like at the time when it happened, everybody was attacking Paige for it,
Oh,
but
yeah.
now that years have passed, and there people are including both of them in that, and then Brad Maddox is an afterthought, just like he was in WWE.
Yep. But yeah, I'm just not happy with their whole. Sammy and Tay deserve better booking. Yeah, it's just this is doing neither of them any favors.
I don't know if it's, I mean, the booking of it could have been fine, but they're given like free reign, I think, in that company to say what they want in their promos.
Except why can't I think of his name? I'm not names are not happening with me tonight. The guy who with the Acclaim, Max Caster, his raps have to be pre-approved now by Tony.
Yeah, because he did one a while ago that I don't remember what it was said, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, it was real bad. It made like news.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was now, but yeah, I think it's more what they're saying and how they're, because it being booked against Paige Van Zandt and like Scorpio Sky and everything could have been fine. I mean, Scorpio Sky is an incredible athlete, and so is Sammy. And I don't know much about Paige Van Zandt, what she's like, how she'll be in the ring. And Ty Conti is certainly has improved phenomenally. It's just the talking. It's the talking that killed it. If they did less of this and more of this, like more talking or less talking, more fighting, it probably would go over better. It's just not working.
And less making out.
Yeah, and less making out. And they teased going into the heel tunnel during a commercial break because people, I think, in the UK don't see the commercial break. Like they don't see the commercials. They see the stuff during the break. So I know that when Brian was reading stuff, he came across people that saw like during the commercial break that they teased going into the heel tunnel and then laughed and turned and went back into the face tunnel. So they know people are turning on them and they're probably going to be heels pretty soon.
Well, so I was looking over their Instagram and people were commenting on Sammy saying like, go heel already, just do it. And he was saying like, I'm never going to go heel. Like, I feel like he was just copying, pasting shit Cody said.
Yeah.
So,
oh well.
yeah. And then the Thunder Rosa versus Nyla match. Oof.
Yeah.
Not great.
I'm gonna say something controversial. Nyla Rose doesn't normally have terrible matches. Britt Baker doesn't normally have terrible matches. However, we have now are going to be making comments on two matches that were not their greatest with a similar common denominator between the two of them. And I like Thunder Rosa, but I'm starting to think that maybe she is better in like no holds barred street fight type matches than pure wrestling matches because this match was clunky.
Yeah, it was not so good. I don't know how long Thunder Rosa is going to hang on to this belt. I don't know if I want her to hang on to this belt very long. Yeah. And I like Thunder Rosa. Like she is so fun. Like she has such great energy. She's great in unconventional matches. But like Jeff Hardy's great in unconventional matches, but he can also wrestle like within constraints of a regular match. You gotta be able to do both.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was just a fluke back then that just, you know,
Off night.
yeah, there was like 2 matches with her and Britt that were just pure wrestling matches that were a little sloppy at points, and thought, you know, everybody has off nights. But then this match came along and there was still a lot of botchy, clunky moments. And yeah, I think maybe I agree that maybe it was too soon to put the belt on her.
Which, but it felt so right.
Yeah, I know. It felt like she was the only one to do it. And now I don't know. I think Britt's time was over. I think that she did have it long enough. She didn't need it anymore. She is one of the biggest stars in the company, not the women's division, the company, period. She doesn't need the belt, and she needed time off. That girl's been working her ass off for what, 3 years now? Like,
yeah, she's just been going through injuries, through everything. So yeah.
But there's nobody else I can think of that is.
They haven't bothered building anyone in the women's division.
No, they haven't, and they really need to start. And you know what? You can even argue the same with the men's division, because I can't really think of anybody right now that is active besides like Adam Cole or Punk, that aren't involved in something different, that would be credible to take the belt right now off of Paige.
Yeah. And I don't think I mean, unless they turn Punk heel or Adam Page heel, like,
no way. What they could do is do like a transitional champ between Hangman and Punk, if Punk, but Punk's so good as a heel. Like, he's been having this love affair now almost a year with the crowd. Like, I'm back. I'm glad to be back. I love you guys. Good to see this city again. Oh boy. Like, I'm just happy to be here. I can't see it lasting too much longer. Like, he's so great as a heel, and let him turn heel. Let him slow. I mean, they did it for Brian. He was Everybody was thrilled to see him. He was a baby face, and he came out and started insulting Hangman, and
it was a bit different. Like, Daniel Bryan, we've seen wrestle the past, decade. Well, for a bit not, but like, he's had a presence. He's been around. Punk, we didn't think was ever coming back to a wrestling business, period.
no.
So like, when he showed up, everyone jizzed in their pants. And
I mean, I cried. I didn't go that far, but
well, basically they have to wait until all the tears and jizz have dried before they can turn him heel.
We could be almost at that point, because it was August when he came back, and we are halfway through April. So,
and wrestling fans, fickle.
And we have short-term memories.
What have you done for me lately?
There's a good chance. I mean, I don't think the feud's going to start immediately. There needs to be like the cool down period after this Adam Cole stuff. And usually when there's like a cool down period in between two major feuds, there's just like Lance Archer is a good example. Between Brian and there's that someone random can challenge him for a little bit, and then that goes away, and then here comes Punk. I mean, he's making it blatantly obvious that he wants the belt.
Yeah.
After every match, he's doing that, like, that thing that they do, like, here's the belt. And I think he even said that he wanted to feud against Hangman. So
yeah. Whatever I was gonna say is gone now, but I'll jump into the other thing that I was thinking about. So AEW has introduced me to a bunch of wrestlers who I've like heard of, but I've never necessarily seen before. I'm really digging Jay Lethal. I just love watching him fly, like him bounce around. Love it. I'm very, very intrigued, and by the look on your face, I hope there's not like some dark thing in his past, because I'm very concerned about your face right now.
So,
I'm not going to love him very much longer, am I? What has he done?
He was part of the wrestling Me Too thing that happened.
I hate Jay Lethal. He's a terrible human being. Great. Fabulous. Why is he on this screen?
I think there were some accusations, but I don't think anything was ever proven. So I don't know. I remember when he first got signed that there were a lot of happy people and a lot of unhappy people. I think it's one of those we don't know what happened things instead of I don't know, like some were very like Marty Skrull is a good example. We know that he fucked a 16-year-old. We know definitely that happened.
Well, here's the thing with most assaults or anything else. So I work at a domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking center, and by that I mean we don't participate in human trafficking. We help people who are recovering or are looking to leave.
I'll let you have to clarify that.
yeah. So statistically, someone is far more likely to do something like fake their own death than bring false accusations, because of all of the people who came forward about during the wrestling Me Too, any of them having great careers right now? Remember any of their names? You don't get fame from it. You don't. And I'm very like, I have a lot of feelings about Darby Allin. A lot of feelings about Darby Allin because he also has accusations against him. And while his ex-wife came out and said, like, well, he never did anything to me, it's like, well, like, you also have a following. Like, abusers don't, like, they pick their victims wisely generally, which is why Bill Cosby wasn't abusing like the big time actresses, you know.
I don't know enough about the Jay Lethal thing. I don't remember if it was like just one, and I don't remember enough about it. I just remember his name. Like, I'll have to look into it more. I just remember him being part of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say anything that isn't true.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say anything because I mean, he could have not had anything to do with anything, and I don't want to be like, oh yeah, you're immediately guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember enough. I just remember hearing his name. So I don't want to like immediately accuse guilt to anybody ever. I don't want to be that person that immediately just like, yes, you're guilty. I don't remember enough, like without knowing enough about it, because I don't remember. But because what broke my heart back then, and the major thing for me was Marty Skrull, because how much I absolutely loved him, and then finding out that he was with a 16-year-old because it was legal in the UK and he didn't know how old she was, and yada yada yada.
Okay.
Well, I guess she was in a pub or a club or something. And
when you look at someone, have you ever looked at a 16-year-old? Like, even if you think someone it like looks a little young, you might want to ask their age or for some identification. Like,
yeah,
just a thought.
I know it was like years ago with him where he was a little younger too, so it's not right. I'm not saying it's right, and I will never say that it's right, and it broke my heart when I found it out. But if it looks like they're close to your age, and I never thought of asking people how old they were. I always went for people older than me, besides Brian anyway. But like, yeah, that destroyed me. So like, pretty much everyone else that was part of that like Me Too part like thing in wrestling, I don't really remember, because I was so upset about Marty, because him and Kenny were my favorite Bullet Club members from that like little era. They were my two. I loved both of them, and like I remember like holding my breath, praying that I didn't hear anything about Kenny Omega, because that would have like shattered me. Like,
yeah, there were because then the UK wrestling scene had its own like Me Too movement, kind of separate from that. Like, there was another
Marty.
Yeah. Well, there was another I can't remember even who it was. But I was really digging his stuff. He was in NXT UK. I really liked what he was doing. I want to say he's connected to Finn Balor somehow, maybe. I could be wrong about that. And by that, I mean like Finn Balor would have trained him, but Finn
Oh,
Balor trained a lot of people.
yeah.
And I was so sad. Like, I was just like, ugh. Um, and I also have no faith in wrestling promoters. They're like, well, we looked into this, and because fucking Rick Swan is still wrestling, and there's video evidence of him beating his wife and dragging her into a car. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like, I've seen the footage. Like, it clearly happened. Yeah, she didn't press charges, but domestic violence victims rarely do because it puts their lives in danger. Like,
I never knew that happened.
yeah, you can look at, I'm sure you can still see the footage. It's awful.
Yeah,
I
I probably won't watch it because
Yeah.
that's just I can't watch stuff like that. But I never. That's horrible.
I hate that man. And I hate the fact that he's still employed. I was so happy that WWE got rid of him. Like, immediately he was suspended without pay, and then he was let go. And I was just like, I hope he never works again. And of course, he was picked up. I was like, no, thank you.
That's too bad. Yeah, the Jay Lethal thing was kind of a bummer too. Like, remember hearing his name because he was very fun on BTE.
I was just like, yeah, I was just like, oh, this guy has so much talent. Ugh.
Yeah, the old BTEs. There used to be like a bit where somebody would, if they tapped him, he would turn into Macho Man because he does a amazing Macho Man
Oh
impression.
yeah, I saw that on either BT or during the awards.
Yeah, they just did it recently, didn't they? I think.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
during those.
Oh, the 200, or was it the two? Were they 200 or 300 episode? It was whatever
Yeah,
anniversary of BT
yeah.
that just came up. Because they brought back a lot of like the old things, like the candy with Scorpio Sky, and they almost teased the "this is the worst town I've ever been in" thing, and
Scorpio Sky is another one that I'm really enjoying. Like, him and Ethan Page, whenever they have the mic, I'm just like, this is gonna be good.
yeah, I loved him with SCU. Like, I miss the three of them, and I miss them on BTE. I miss the like "this is the worst town I've ever been in" things with like Kaz just going off about how whatever town they're in is awful, and like, but yeah, I like Scorpio Sky. I don't remember ever hearing his name in anything, so I think he's still safe.
Mhm.
Um, he's very fun and talented. But yeah, I think I'll have to look more into the Jay Lethal thing. But yeah, I kind of wanted to try to like convey to stop for a second before because
Yeah.
I know you and your line of work and you personally, and I was like,
Yeah, like the way I treat when things like this with celebrities come out is like, maybe they didn't do anything, but I'm sure as hell not going to take, like, if it was someone that like I knew, like if this was a person like in my town, I'm not going to go hang out with them. Like, I'm not taking that chance. I'd rather, you know, and that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna talk mad shit about them, or that I'm gonna wish them dead, unless of course they actually did something. In which case I hope you die 1,000 fiery deaths. But I that's just the way, like, I think of it. Like, I'm sure as hell not gonna buy your merch, which is why, because Riddle's another one who had that was probably the one that made me the saddest. He had accusations against him, and yeah, I have no idea if that's true or not. I'm not buying any sort of merch. I do really enjoy RK Bro, and I feel real sick about it. Like, but yeah.
if I like, I'm trying to think. I think part of it just came back to me. I might be wrong, but I think it wasn't a case of he did anything physically to any of the other wrestler women. I think it was he was part of like blacklisting people, or like trying to hurt, like, that like part of it where fucking their career for coming out. Some of the guys were like fucking the careers of the women that were,
Mhm.
I
I
think
mean, he may have done that, but he also had a woman come out and say, while he was married to his wife, like,
No, not Riddle.
oh,
Lethal.
Lethal, gotcha. I was like, no, Riddle definitely.
No,
Yeah.
Lethal. I think it's like it's something just clicked as you were talking that I
Mm.
think that it was he didn't assault anyone, but was part of like helping blacklist women that came forward or something. I I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I might be wrong. I'm just gonna shut up in case I'm wrong, and we'll look into it.
Yeah. Um,
No, Riddle. I remember reading all about it. That was a convoluted one. All
yeah. And the second that he was like, well, she's mentally ill, I was like, that actually increases the likelihood that she was assaulted. So that was not your best defense, sir. Although with the general population, it certainly is. But yeah, I was just ugh, 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 ugh. Like, I really truly hope that he did not do anything because he's getting such a big push and he is so over. Um, Also, he has daughters, like,
mm,
so not that I'm not saying that like someone who assaults women in general would, assault their daughters, but I mean, not the greatest role models in general, but yeah. Um Speaking of Riddle and RK Bro, how do you feel about the unification of the tag championships?
I like it. They don't have a deep enough tag division to justify having two belts on each, like a belt on each brand.
Mhm.
I honestly been saying it for a while that I think that they should just probably over a year. I've been either saying it with Bry or like thinking it that they just need to make it one. I mean, they have one for the women, they should have one for the men and have them float between both brands and like challenge whoever wants to challenge them on either brand.
Mm-hmm. The downside is, I think this is whoever the tag champs wind up being, like while they're unified, they should not have to do any house shows because it's just going to wear down the performers and it's going to increase their likelihood of injury. Um, so like I'm fine with the unification as long as their schedule isn't insane. Because like when Shayna and Nyla or not Naya, wow, were the women's tag champs, like they were on Raw, NXT, and SmackDown every week for like a month doing all three shows, which is a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, granted, it was during the pandemic at least, so it's not like they were going all over the country, but I think during that time they started, but it's still a lot. Um Also, like, I don't know. I think that the Usos will probably win, and I don't think I'm necessarily ready for RK Bro to not be tag champs.
I don't want them to break up
Yeah,
because
I don't think Randy wants to let it go yet, so I don't think they will.
I'm gonna say another controversial thing. I have never liked Randy Orton. The entire time I have started watching again since 2012 when I started watching, I have never ever like I've
He
called
was
him
so boring for so long.
yeah, I've called him Randy Borton like because I've been bored shitless. I have not liked him. This is the only time in 10 years of watching again that I am enjoying Randy Orton because you could tell that this man is just he's having the time of his fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's happy what he's doing and it comes across on camera. And if you can tell that the wrestler is having fun, it makes it more enjoyable to watch.
Mm-hmm. Randy Orton is someone who, like, when he's into whatever storyline it is or whatever match it is, he is down. Like, you're getting quality work out of him. If he's like, meh, I'm here for the money, guess what you're getting? Meh, I'm here for the money matches. And like, bef- before everything with RK Bro, yeah, I was just like, maybe he'll retire soon. Like, I did not want to see him on my screen anymore. Like, I was like, why are they giving this guy so much time? Yeah, he was great 10 years ago. Yeah, he can still go and his matches are great to put me to sleep. But give somebody else a go. Yeah, I don't want it to revert back.
No, I don't either. I know that Randy Orton has a lot of people that love him, and I think it's people that were there for like Evolution and the Legend Killer and everything.
I mean, I saw that and I loved that, but
I wasn't watching. I didn't see him when he was like peak Randy Orton. I saw him when he came back from like number 892's wellness violation, and he just was always really boring to me. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't get it. And I'd have people that had been watching for like the 10 years before I started watching and like, no, he's great, he's great. And I just didn't see it.
He can be. He
Yeah,
can be great.
I definitely see that now. And if I ever watch something that talks about like the ruthless aggression era, like for example, we had just watched the Sasha Banks and the Randy Orton episodes of that Evil series that's on Peacock. And I probably would have liked him back then. Like when they were showing all of his early stuff and like him with Evolution and when he was the Legend Killer, and even when he first came in and they were doing like those Randy reports when he was injured, and I probably would have liked them. I think I just caught him at like a valley in his career, like just
he was
a
also
low
like the missing member of 98 Degrees. So like he was a cutie, but not that he's not attractive now, but like he was boy band hot back in the day.
Yeah, he was cute.
And I mean he had the tattoos to match. Have you ever noticed that Randy Orton has hot dog legs?
No.
His leg, next time he's on your screen and they show his like full body, his legs look like hot dogs.
Why do you do this stuff to me? Why do you make me notice things?
It's all I can see. Like whenever they do full body, I'm like, look at Mr. Hot Dog Legs.
I hate when people do stuff like this to me. Like, so side note, I have a friend that we used to text a lot when Saturday Night Live was on, that he and I used to work together, and we became really close. He was my little work husband, I was his little work wifey, and we would text during SNL for got up until about like the pandemic happened, and Weekend Update was on, and what did he say to me the one time? Oh, what the hell is the actress's name? Now it's not gonna be funny because I can't think of what her name is. Not Renee Zellweger.
Aniston?
No, Legally Blonde. What's her name?
Oh, Reese Witherspoon. No,
Thank you.
yes.
So we're watching Weekend Update, and Colin Jost is on, and he texts me, Colin Jost has Reese Witherspoon lips. And I looked at him and I looked up a picture of Reese Witherspoon, and they have the same exact mouth. So now every time I see him talk, that's all I see. And now it's gonna be the same thing with Randy Orton and his hot dog legs. So thank you.
If I have to suffer through RKO hot dog legs, so do you.
And I hope that anyone who watches and also happens to watch SNL, you're gonna notice the Reese Witherspoon mouth on Colin Jost now.
I will tell you, I want a hot dog all the time whenever Randy Orton. And it took me a while to figure out why. And I was like, they're the color, and depending on if he's flexing or not, they are the shape of hot dogs.
I hate and love you at the same time.
It's just like, oh, what is his name? Varsity Blondes, the Mullet Junior.
Oh, Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah, his theme music sounds like Sables at the beginning.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe you'll forget about hot dog legs too.
That's because he's never on.
Yeah, and I mean, he could have brushed up his moves a little bit, so I'm not terribly sad about that. But yeah. Also, I disliked Sable, so every time I heard his music, I would be angry. So I kind of don't like him a little bit, and it's simply because of that fact.
That's funny.
Yeah, I know why I don't like him. It's that. it is that. And I don't like his mullet, but that's not here nor there. Speaking of people with facial and head hair things happening, Ezekiel. When he first popped up, I was like, what the fuck is this? this is garbage. Why are they doing this? I love it. Although that man, Elias, should never be without facial hair. He looks like he got mugged by the ugly tree.
He has a scar I noticed last night that looks like it comes all the way down here. I'm like, I wonder if that's why he did have the beard.
Is it a scar or is it really deep set lines on each side of his face? Because I was trying to figure that out. I was like, turn the other way.
No, I think it's a scar because I was purposely looking for the other side to see if it matched, and I only saw it on the one side. So I think it's a scar.
Yeah, he just, and his face, I don't think likes being shaved. Looking at it, it's not happy. Ugh. I mean, he's doing a great job. His hair looks phenomenal, though.
Yeah.
Like when he was Elias, he would always come out with it like wet. Oof, he's got like Fabio hair going on there, Fabio, whatever it is. Beautiful hair. Let it grow back on his face.
I mean, this is funny. This like
him and Kevin Owens.
This like whole gaslighting angle, and I don't understand. What I'm not getting is clearly everyone knows it's Elias. Why is Owens the heel in this situation? Because the only people that are like they're gaslighting are Kevin Owens and the crowd, like the audience, because the face commentators are also saying that this is Ezekiel, but then you have Lawler, who is, the heel commentator that is saying like, no, it's Elias. And everybody at home is thinking, no, it's really Elias. So why? I don't understand the face heel dynamic in this situation at all.
I don't know, but the crowd's buying into it hard. Like, who wants to speak with Zeke?
Like, I hate that. I honestly hate that though.
Oh, it's going to be so over. It's one of those things. As soon as he said it, I was like, oh my god. That, and I thought of Salute Your Shorts, Zeke the plumber.
Yes.
Because that was the last time I heard Zeke.
He said it two different ways though. At one point he said like, who wants to hear Zeke speak, and then it was who wants to speak with. So I don't even think he knows what his new catchphrase is supposed to be.
Nope, he's just going for it. And I mean, he's so over. He is so over, and I'm so shocked because I was just like, what have they done to this man? They've made him a legend.
I don't think this would have worked with anyone else but Kevin Owens.
Yeah. I hate liars.
I know, he's so funny, and that lie detector thing I thought was going to be so stupid, and holy shit, was that funny. Like, Chad Gable was a perfect addition to that. Like,
oh yeah. And Chad Gable, I have never liked him. I didn't like Malfa Academy. I didn't like anything he's ever done. I found him boring. Bleh, get him off my screen. Who cares if he goes to another company? Now I'm just like, pay that man whatever he wants. He is gold. Thank you. Like, he needs to stay forever. This is fantastic. He doesn't need Otis, but
no, he needs to go on his own ASAP. You know what small little thing killed me in that segment last night was when Owen said something like the man with the 2.0, and he's like 4.0, the 4.0 GPA. Like, it little shit like that just absolutely kills me.
Yeah. I just Kevin Owens and and Chad Gable together, gold. And like this little trio that they have, anytime they can like kind of have them together in the same room, go for it. Honestly, have a show, just put a webcam in the corner and just like let them yell at each other for a while Chad Gable Nixon's at everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, it's funny. It was really funny. My bar was low for that segment, like low, and it exceeded what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and the crowd was so into it. So freaking good. Loved it. Yes, give me more of that, please.
Owens is so funny. Like, he is honestly genuinely funny. He has great comedic timing. The way that he delivers everything, like the acting, he's so talented. He's just so funny on the mic. He can go from like terrifying to hilarious to sincere to manipulative. Like he's just the range on him is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I like how he was paying him $100 Canadian dollars.
Canadian dollars.
Yeah, Canadian dollars. Um, like no one ever has to wonder why Kevin Owens' wife married him. Like that had to be the easiest decision of her life. She's like, I'll laugh for the rest of my life. Hell yeah, let's go.
Oh, Kevin Owens is 100% like every guy I would have had a crush on in my early 20s and like late teens. I'm not even joking. Like I every single guy I would have had a crush on is Kevin Owens.
Every single guy I would have had a crush on is Damian Priest.
I liked my chubby boys.
Oh,
You know, as you could tell by the beanpole that I married.
yeah. Um, yeah, no. I mean, I was a goth kid. I was real into the Hardys. And Damian Priest, like once he added the guy liner and like that little hint of a beard he has going on, whoo. Like, and I know a lot of people. So when Edge first came out with his new shtick, I immediately got it, like that it was a callback to the Brood. Because I mean, they've been hinting it so much. I was like, yes, of course. You know, the beginning of his career, he's the disciple, the follower. Now he's the leader. Full circle. I'm here for this. Then Damian Priest comes up, and I was just like, thank you. Like I love the graphic of when he comes out now with the half angel wing, half demon wing. I'm living for it. And I know people immediately drew like parallels between the House of Black and they don't have a name yet.
People.
I immediately saw the difference because the House of Black is scary as fuck. Like absolutely not. Don't want to mess with them. I do find Murphy strangely attractive, but yeah, not messing with those guys. They have like a scary murder cult. Edge and Damian Priest have a sex cult. There's a very clear distinction. Like there's just naked people in their cult. That's what it is.
They're what the Dark Order intended to be in the beginning.
A sex cult?
You don't remember the Dark Order in the very beginning where they all had like gimp masks and
Oh.
bondage stuff on and whatnot? Like it was very much looked like a sex cult. And then they were kind of in limbo nowhere land for a while. Then when Brody Lee came and then BTE happened and Silver and Reynolds joined, that's what made it the Dark Order we know of today. But the original Dark Order was fucking horrid.
Gotcha. No, I did not recall. I wasn't watching at that point. So
Oh yeah, it was not good. Go if you can ever go back and find like really early episodes of AEW.
Tony Khan, get on that.
It was I remember Evil Uno sitting on a crown a throne of human beings that formed like a little throne for I think I said crown sat on like a throne of human beings in the middle of the ring when they were like first debuting that were all in their like masks and whatnot and yeah they were a totally different thing than what we're seeing today.
Yep, that's very different.
Yeah, so that's what they were like trying to go for is what Edge and Priest might be actually attaining.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know that Edge and Priest are going for the sex cult, but that's the vibe I'm getting.
And Rhea Ripley's probably joining that soon.
Yeah, and honestly, they could have had both of them join, both Liv and Rhea. Like I would have been so thrilled. A lot of people I mean both of them could be in a sex cult as well, but like yeah, Rhea Ripley also fits that to a T. Like I'm straight, but she makes me question my sexuality just a little bit.
I think that I don't think they want to make Liv Morgan a heel.
Yeah, I know.
People love her. I don't think that I think that's why they're so because Rhea could do a heel. Like she
Mm-hmm.
could easily. She
She's done
has.
it before, yeah.
Um, people fucking adore Liv Morgan, and I don't think that they were ready to make her into a heel. And I'm hoping that she gets like a better singles run finally.
Yeah, I kind of wish that because I love like Live for Brutality. And I wish that if they weren't going to make them a long running tag team that eventually got the belts, that they just wouldn't have done it yet. Like do it in a year or whenever. Um, they had better circle back to it, honestly. Like I think that they could probably pull off circling back to it because they had so much chemistry.
Yeah,
Just
they looked like they were. It looked like they were starting like a romance angle with those two also, and I wasn't the only one that noticed that because I've seen other people like comment that it looked like that they were doing some kind of like romancy angle with those two. The looks that they give each other and how close they'd be to each other's faces, and I don't know what they were trying to go for, but it seemed like they were going for something that didn't pan out.
they're just priming Ripley for the sex cult.
I guess that must be it.
Mm-hmm. Mark my words.
Yeah, because I saw someone saying how they were happy that they were seeing Leah Ripley in an LGBT angle. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, it does kind of look like that they're making them look like they might get together. And then but I'm like, but then it's rumored that Rhea is supposed to be in this new faction of Edges, and is it gonna be both? Like, are they gonna tear them apart? Like, what's gonna happen? But I guess they broke them up, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what happened.
What a tough thing for Rhea Ripley, having people want her in so many different angles.
Yeah.
Tough spot. But like honestly, she deserves it. That woman is 25 years old and has so much talent pumping out those ovaries. Like just amazing. What have I done with my life?
Yeah, she's gonna be a major player in that company for a while.
Yeah, she's another one. Whatever she wants, give it to her.
Mhm.
Whatever she wants to be happy, give that to her. She has future of WWE written all over her.
Oh yeah, for sure. She is super talented. She has the look. Like
She just has like that presence about her.
mhm.
Like I've also seen her like out, like well, not in person, like the photo she posts where she's like out of her Rhea Ripley gear, and she is, I think her actual name is Demi, and she's just herself. And like even that, which she looks completely different, she's still somewhere you're like your eyes are just like, I must look at this person. Like she glows, she is amazing. I want to be her friend, normal things.
I mean, I want to be their friend is a normal thing. At least you weren't like, I want to wear her skin. That would be unnormal. Like
Did I ever tell you about the guy at Penn Foss, the place we used to work?
editing.
Redacted. Penn Flippity Burger Ruse, who
Pennsylvania.
who when he first approached, the first thing he ever said to me was, your skin's really nice, I'd like to wear it. And I was like, bye.
Uh-huh.
HR. I had someone tell me they want to wear my skin as their opening line.
Oh, I have to know who that is when we get done with this.
To be fair, he then made friends with me by bringing me a gigantic box filled with wrestling DVDs. I'm not saying that that is a way to make me forget such comments, but it smoothed it over a little bit.
Did you mention you liked wrestling, or were
yes,
you...
I definitely
okay.
I wore wrestling t-shirts all the time.
Oh, okay. I was just got a little
Otherwise
nervous.
that would have been very, very scary. No, I constantly wore wrestling t-shirts.
Okay, that makes it a little better. My heart feels a little better than it did a second ago.
Sabrina, you're being stalked.
I was like, wait a minute, that's not good. I want to wear your skin. Here's a box of things you like.
There's a box of things you like. Yes. Happy birthday.
Holy shit.
Yes, yes. He also had a British accent, and everything sounds a little better coming from that, except for I want to wear your skin. That did not sound good.
No, that's like
That made it worse. Actually, I think that made it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had like Adam Pacitti British accent, not like Pete Dunne English accent.
So was it like Adam Pacitti where he's like normal, or like the, oh, I'm Pacitti and this is 25, like was it
Where he's normal.
okay?
Had to think about it though. Had to think about that. But yeah. So yeah. I'm not saying make friends with people who want to wear your skin, but because they'll give you wrestling merch, but it worked for me.
I'm sorry. Oh boy.
I
That
will
one
I will not be held responsible for anyone losing their skin or their life.
that one tickled me.
Thankfully, I can still be tickled because I have my skin.
Yes.
He later clarified that it's because my skin's really it doesn't make it any better. He said that my skin was really pretty and nicer than his. It didn't make it any better.
Was it like a weird way of saying that like he wished he had your skin? Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Any okay.
Yep. Yep. Um, so back to wrestling. The other thing that I wanted to chat about was the Bianca Belair and Sonya Deville angle. Which the match on its own, I like how they're building this. Like it was very clear that like when Sonya had the blank contract, I think what she was going to do. I don't know if anyone was actually shocked by that. Because she is a competitor.
Mhm.
And I mean, she carried that match and was one of the people who carried that match in Saudi Arabia, that tag match. But yeah, on its own, this is fine. But when you take into account recent history and how they've been booking Deville, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we cannot be the only people who have noticed this. I know we are not the only people that have noticed this. Sonya Deville has had two feuds since she has come back. And the first one was Naomi out
For
of
no reason.
nowhere. There was never a reason given. It was just Sonya Deville continually trying to fuck over Naomi because I don't like you. That was basically the only reason it was given. I don't like you, which looked a little weird and problematic then. And then she
A
comes
white
out.
woman in power screwing with a black woman. Why would that be problematic?
Yeah, no idea, right? It was the weirdest thing. Disclaimer: we are not saying in any way that Sonya Deville, the human
No.
being, the person, the non-character, has these feelings. Just getting that out there. The way that she is being written by the
Yeah.
writers in WWE is making her look like she does not like women of color.
Yeah.
Because then she comes out of her managerial role again for a new feud, and it's Bianca Belair. And I even that night when that happened, I was like, why are they making Sonya look like she does not like black women? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's very strange.
Yeah. And again, like if the stuff with Naomi never happened, this would be completely normal. Wouldn't give it a second thought. If they had given a reason
Yeah,
for like, oh, I really hate things that glow. You're too peppy. Um, anything really. Anything. Anything. I don't like your TikToks. You're far more, you're here for TikTok likes, not for wrestling. Natural things that they could have like said there. The TikTok
they
thing
could have
specifically.
they could have even pulled the same bullshit that they have with other women, that you're only here because of your husband. Like, even that would have made
Yeah.
it better for me. Any, like, as much as I hate that trope and how much it's played out,
Mm-hmm.
that even would have been better. You're only here because of your husband. Like, that they could have chosen anything out of the sky instead of, I'm randomly picking on you because I don't like you and I don't have to give you a reason why. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yep. And like the other thing is, I don't know why they're like I know Naomi is a face, and that's why she is not currently like aligned with the bloodline. However, why are we as the audience meant to believe that she would not be protected from the sort of abuse she was experiencing from Sonya Deville because of Roman Reigns, because of her husband? Makes no sense. None.
Mm-mm.
Unless Roman Reigns hates women.
Which, no, I, if they had never paired them together before, if they had never shown them on that stupid show they used to have, that Total Divas, if
Or
they had
even like the mixed match challenge. Yeah, right?
yeah,
No, it's not mixed match. You know what I'm talking about.
the mixed tag team, like,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I meant. Like, if they haven't paired them together in the past, if they haven't shown them in backstage like interviews together, if they had never made it known on air that those two were a couple, then yeah, that would make sense. But you have shown that they are married and they are together. Like, where they just, it's not that they trust that the whole, like, wrestling fans have short attention span type thing, and no, they don't. Wrestling fans have long ass memories, a plethora of podcasts that cover the entirety of like that company, and I don't know. Sometimes the decisions don't make sense.
Yeah, like there's just no reason for how that was. It was poorly handled. Like on one hand, you're like, I'm so glad that they're doing stuff with Naomi and Sonya, but like, do better.
Yeah,
Do better.
that feud was terrible for both of them. Like,
yes. Yeah. And I think that Bianca versus Sonya will be better. I like already how they're handling it, where like Adam Pearce fined Bianca Belair $1.
that was funny.
And the how she was, it a little weird for you to actually see like a physical dollar on TV?
Yeah, it was actually.
And like hear the sound. I was like, huh, yeah, that's what money sounds like.
Paper money. I
Not
forgot
like
about that.
not plastic. Strange.
Not here's my debit card.
Yep. Which honestly, one of my thoughts was, why did she have $1 on her? It's like, maybe vending machines. No, they have.
I just think the same thing. Even vending machines have card readers now.
So that was my biggest question with that whole segment, is like, why does she have $1?
Maybe they're having a basket raffle at work and everybody had to bring in money to buy a ticket for a raffle, and she happened to have $1.
There's a Gertrude Hawk candy bar sale. Bring your dollar. Oh, I kind of hope they do basket raffles at WWE. They might for some of their charities. I wouldn't be surprised.
We're having one at my work now. That's what made me think of that, actually.
Yeah. Although at the same time they travel, so they'd have to like pack up the bag. Well, no, because it would just be the one day that the company would, and then they'd be like, figure this out, wrestlers, peace out.
They can just keep the baskets at like the headquarters and just have them buy the tickets, and when they win, they can get their basket.
We'll mail it to you. Yeah, that's very true. Or gift certificates or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because these people don't have money to buy to buy whatever they want. Bianca Belair. So she just had, I follow her on social media, and she just had her birthday. And I'm 100% sure that Montez Ford did a surprise birthday party for her. And her birthday present was a boat. Like, not like a yacht, but a boat.
They're making boat money?
Well, it was just after WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure he used his WrestleMania money to buy her a boat.
I wish I had boat money.
Right. But I was just like, how sweet. She deserves a boat. Like, usually you're just like, rich fucks in their boat. But I was like, Bianca Belair deserves a boat.
And a jet ski. Get her whatever she wants.
Whatever she wants. That precious angel, give her whatever.
I know, she's so pure.
Get her an island, honestly. Like, some rich assholes just doing bad things with an island. Give her an island.
The EST island. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like it would be some sort of sanctuary for turtles or something.
Turtles is a weird one.
Oh, that was the first thing that came to mind. Like, what's in the water? Turtles.
Fair.
Not birds. Did you happen to hear about those monkeys that are an invasive species now in Florida? Because someone took a bunch of monkeys to an island and like I guess in one of the keys or something, and they either I think they filmed a movie or they did something, and then they were like, we're just going to leave these monkeys here to die, and they left, forgetting that monkeys can swim. Now these monkeys have, I think it's herpes or something like that, some sort of STD. And so the monkeys swam to mainland Florida, and apparently if they bite people, like people get very, very sick and can die.
So this is how the zombie apocalypse starts, isn't it?
Yeah. So someone didn't want to, like, they just left these poor monkeys to die, and the monkeys it's their revenge. So, they're not aggressive, but like people in Florida, or in general, are stupid and are like, oh, let me pet the monkey. Let me pet this wild monkey.
I mean, if I saw a monkey, I'd probably want to hug it. That's how I'm gonna die.
Well, if it's in Florida, it might have an STD and kill you.
How about remember up here a few months ago, several months ago, and those
Those monkeys. Yeah.
And those poor things that were euthanized because they were carrying a undisclosed disease. Like what the hell was, and then we never heard anything about it again. I still want to know what that was about.
Oh yeah.
That was a zombie virus, I'm convinced.
Yeah. So I'm getting a phone call right now. I'm not answering it, although I'm tempted to. So a friend of mine there's only one person in my life who I live to prank. And so they have these cards that I found online that once you pull the tab, you know those cards that you open and they sing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, once you pull the tab to this one, it won't stop singing for 6 to 10 hours. Oh. And the song this one's playing is Rick Ashley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
You rickrolled them through a card?
I rickrolled him. And now here's the thing. After maybe you make it an hour of this card not shutting the fuck up, you're probably going to want to rip that battery out, right? Well, if you do that, it explodes with glitter.
Oh, that is keep singing. Evil. That's so evil.
I guarantee he just got it because he just called me 2 days ago. I thought he might have got it like the Saturday before Easter, because he randomly sent me this very nice message. It was just a photo of like all of the nice things I've ever sent him. So I was like, oh, is this guilt? No, it wasn't planned guilt. It's just guilt.
This isn't your brother, is it?
Oh, no. I should do that to him. I'm just going to make myself a note. I need to get his new address.
I had nothing to do with that.
Of course not.
Because I'm somewhat related to him, so I had nothing to do with that. Yeah. He's like a cousin somehow. I forget the weird way. I don't know. All I know is that he's like a D&D person. I think he does D&D with my brother. And I know that my brothers are close to him because they went to school with him or something.
I'm just curious if you can hear it in the background of the message.
Oh, God.
Hang on. Can you hear it? Oh.
No, it was just like, it sounded like robot noises.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was just playing the card. He rickrolled me with it. He has not had it explode yet. That means he must have just opened it.
How the hell do you find something that evil? Hell? Like, did you visit hell lately?
It was in one of my targeted advertisements because I have sent him glitter bombs before. Mm-hmm. And just like other awful things. For example, in grad school, this is not something I would do now, but I definitely sent him. A lot of these things are through the mail now that I'm thinking about it. It was a piece of mail from targeted towards it looked like a questionnaire, like a membership application for closeted gay men living in America. And what I didn't know was he had just joined like the Gay Straight Alliance. So I had sent him that. And he really believed it up until it asked him for a shoe size. And then he was like, what did Sabrina do? There was also the time when he knew I was coming over, and like his roommate left. This is when we were in college, and me and him were going out to the bars. But when I came in, my roommate came in behind me and hid in his closet while we went out, and I had given her glow in the dark paint. He's afraid of ghosts, and so she wrote on his ceiling, "We've been watching and we're coming," on his ceiling.
Oh my God.
With hand and footprints going up. So I got him shit-faced, brought him back to his apartment, and was like, bye, friend. And then went back to my apartment. And I want to say like an hour later, I got a message from him being like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're not funny. He said like when he turned off his lights, and the glow in the dark thing happened, he screamed and then sat in his bed for half an hour waiting for me to crawl out from somewhere. They never removed that paint, by the way, when they moved out of the apartment. So my hope is people are still terrified to this day.
That is too funny. And evil. Very evil.
Yes, he's the only person that I prank, and all of my evil energy is just sent his way.
Yeah, so I am
and now towards somebody else, because I do have a second one of those cards, because I ordered 2 in case I screwed up the first one, and the other one's going to be going elsewhere.
Hi, I'm one of your co-hosts, Megan Manley, and this is my other co-host, Satan.
Yes.
Holy shit. The evil laugh makes it better.
I mean, so it's very important who you choose to prank. Like if it's someone who's sad when you do it, you don't prank them, or someone who gets mad, but someone who just goes with it. Yes. I don't know what it is, but I found my victim and I've stayed with tormenting him for a decade.
Aww.
Or more now. It's more, yeah.
My little one just came back to the door.
No.
We might be hearing her now on my end. She sounds very sad that I'm still in here.
I've been waiting for you.
I know. You deal with it, Lily.
Just like, I'm listening to how evil Sabrina is.
You made her sad.
Yeah, she's the only one I've made sad. Usually I bring joy with the torment that I direct towards this one individual.
Oh, that card though, that card is straight out of hell. Like, that is awful.
Yeah, I'm so proud of myself.
Oh man, if my brother didn't still live at home, I would love to find that. But I think my mother would murder me if that happened in her house.
Do you think one of your brothers could casually get whose address?
Yeah, I can get that.
Perfect. That way, because I'm not going to sign it.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll ask them. All right, Voldemort, let's get going.
Well, thank you for joining this episode of How to Torture Your Friends.
Yeah, you probably just gave, I mean, if anybody's listening, we gave 3s of people an idea.
Whole 3 people are going to be like,
Well, we know we have 3 on the listening, but we don't know like who may watch on the YouTubes.
No. So. Yeah, I have no idea. So I mean, if you're watching this, have at it.
And then I should smash that like button, like, comment, and subscribe
for How to Prank Your Friends through the U.S. Postal Service. And also for wrestling information, opinions, the like.
and random tangents about things that happened in the 90s.
Yes. Wrestling happened in the 90s. It fits.
Yes, Lily.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today's episode.
We didn't even touch Raw from last night, did we?
Yeah, the Bianca
Oh,
and
yeah.
Sonya and the KO and breaking up of Rhea and Liv. And I mean, there was that god awful 24/7 thing.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. I was taking a shower. I don't think we talked about Cody at all. Cody and Seth were great in the opening.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Absolutely. They're going to have a rematch, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah,
and then Cody and Kevin had that great match.
I called it. When he said that it was going to be like someone of his choosing,
He only has one friend.
That's what I thought. I said, it's going to be Kevin Owens. And I was told by someone that lives with me, no, it can't be him. He's doing the lie detector thing tonight. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I couldn't think of who else it would be. I was like, no. Like anybody that was coming into my head. And then as soon as Owen's music started playing, I was the smuggest little bitch you'd ever see in your life. I was like, I was right. He said the words, you were right, because I was right.
That's a good one you got there. That'll admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, minus the Raw after Mania. So I think just the past 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know. I feel like Raw has been better, like lately, than it had been. Although I agree with Seth Rollins, it does not need to be 3 hours.
No, it really doesn't. Last week's, I don't remember. Last week's SmackDown, the whole RK Bro thing at the end, like Randy accepting the challenge. I really enjoyed that segment.
Mm-hmm.
I loved when Randy went off on him about like, you forget who I am. Like,
yeah,
it's like, oh, because I even was like, oh yeah, I forgot you've been here forever. And like you were a big deal. That's right. Who are these kids messing with you? Like,
yeah, and I mean, like Randy Orton is in really good shape for as long as he has been wrestling.
Yeah, he's got to be what, in his like early 40s at this point?
Definitely in his 40s. Yeah.
He doesn't look it.
Let's see. Randy Orton is 42.
Okay. Yeah, he's in fantastic shape for his age.
That bastard.
Hmm.
He knows me too well. He diffused the speaker without setting off the glitter bomb.
Nice.
He sent me a picture of the card in a Ziploc bag. Damn it.
Outsmarted.
I have to stop doing things with glitter to that man.
He'll figure something out.
Oh, I will. The last time I saw him, I gave him a penis-shaped trophy that says, "Congratulations, you're a dick." So, well, technically, my cat gave it to him because he missed his birthday party.
I just heard a cat.
Yeah.
I hear one from my speaker and one from my real life.
So yes. But what were you saying about SmackDown and Randy Orton?
Oh, I don't even remember now. Oh, it was just a good segment. Like, I'm excited for this match. I think they're building it up really well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that they're going to lose, but I'm hoping it'll be a good feud, like after that, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like the Street Profits just made a heel turn last night.
Yeah. So on SmackDown, when the Street Profit, when Ford jumped off of, he came down on one of the Usos, but then he popped up and he did that dance in front of Randy Orton. And I was just like, this seems a little bizarre. Yeah. Sexual, maybe? I don't know. Like, that doesn't seem to be an in-your-face dance. But like, he didn't have a "I'm seducing you" face. I don't know.
It was like a Big E thing, like how Big E would do like the hip thing. You know, it's sort of like not the same exact dance, but like that vibe. Like,
yeah, Big E's was more hip. This was a lot of shoulder action. Yeah. Big E seems sexual.
Oh, 100%. I missed that man. He needs to come back.
Yeah.
Hope he gets better soon.
I missed him gyrating on my screen.
He's just such a like
Just delightful.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He's fun to listen to. He's just a very fun human. Like,
I'd watch that man play Tiddlywinks. Like if him and Woods wanted to play Tiddlywinks and film it, I'd watch it. It'd be entertaining.
oh yeah, I mean the smack talk alone. Like,
Yeah. Or like Ants in the Pants. You remember that game?
yes.
Have the New Day play that. I bet there'd be a lot of shit talking.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we're being told to wrap up from both of our cats. Jeez.
Yeah, right. I don't know which cat's which that's yelling.
Well, as always, hustle, loyalty, and respect. Yabba do.